Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Joel. I'm now a nurse graduate from San Diego State University and currently working the ER as an RN. And for today's video, it's going to be 4 tips in becoming a better nursing student. Now, these 4 tips are things that I learned through pretty much trial and error, modifying each of them. And I know everybody has like a different way of studying, so I'll just show you my tips and see what you guys can get from it. So number 1 is going to be using practice questions. So practice questions can be found anywhere where it's like Quizlet, or if you are paying like for a certain subscription. But for me, I never really paid for a subscription. I just pretty much went for Quizlets. Just like searching in the topic that you're going into, if it's like diabetic ketoacidosis or any chapter in particular, you can write like that in Quizlet and you'll be surprised how many free practice questions you can get, and they're all made from different users. They really don't have like a name or anything, but they give you, they're pretty much like their Quizlets of like 15 terms or whatever. Each term is a question, like case study question, and then once you flip it, the flashcard is going to come with the rationale. And the somewhat good ones are the ones that come without the rationale. They just come like with the multiple choice correct answer, but you can then click on that question, like copy that question of the Quizlet and then paste it in the Google search, and then you can have multiple ones, but some of them might be having the rationale with it. So if you really care about the rationale, you can like copy that same question and search it in Google, and then you're gonna eventually find with the rationale. So that's pretty much how I learned it, because with me, you can give me a topic and for me to read it, but if I don't see like a story or a case or something that I can like relate all those terms in there, it's really hard for me to understand it just by reading it. So that's how I learn better, by just applying the knowledge. Number 2 is going to be sleeping your 6 to 8 hours, and I know this for a lot of people it's not there. You barely sleep either 4 hours, 5 hours, 6 hours. But if you really feel like super tired and overwhelmed even when sleeping your 6 to 8 hours, caffeine has really done a lot of wonders. You probably already do like energy drinks or Starbucks, and I know caffeine is really bad for you after a certain level, but at least caffeine gets you more zoned, it gets you more focused, it gets you more like, unfortunately, it gives you that push for you to keep on studying. So also having your coffee there with you, or if you're like an energy drink person, like let's be for real, like Red Bulls for me, like the tiny ones, they kind of like do the trick, but they only have like 80 milligrams of caffeine. So if you're like a rock star kind of person, literally, then go for it. I think those ones have like 200 or 250. Like, hey, it is what it is, right? Like, let's be real. So yeah, that really worked out for me. With me, when I was more in nursing school with my ADSN, I did more coffee, but then as I was doing my bachelor's, that's when like the Rockstar Rock Bull kind of like came into play, and a little bit of the less I would do coffee. But hey, whichever one you like. So pretty much those are one of the first 2 that I really like stick to it. Like those were like my really good fundamentals. My third one was the Pomodoro technique. So Pomodoro is pretty much like working a specific time frame and then taking a little break and then doing that time frame again. So for instance, 25 minutes of studying and then a 5-minute break. And you might be thinking like, well, once I get into the zone, I work better and I do like 4 hours straight. But we're trying to be consistent here. So what I mean is that your brain normally has like an attention spasm of 25 minutes and then starts to decline a little. So that's why it started into those type of blocks. So 25, 5 minute, 25, 5 minute. And then after 2 hours, you do like a 10 to 30 minute break. As I grew older with this technique, I then started to increase the 25 minutes to 40 minutes, but I went with increments of 5. So then I did 30 minutes, 5-minute break, 35, 5-minute break, because I did see that my attention span would definitely still be 100% after those 25 minutes, and I want to do a little bit more. And I found it like it was like kind of like going to the gym, you know, kind of like when you're done lifting for 12 reps, maybe the 15-pound dumbbell, you might be going with the 20 and then go little by little. You don't want to over cram it. You don't want to make it faster than the process is, so you don't just jump to the 25s and try to do 12 when you really cannot still do the 15 or the 20s or the 25. So I know it's a work in progress, and I know it's not going to feel good in a sense, but you need to really practice your brain into adapting, into studying into those type of blocks, and then increment it little by little as you're going on. And you're going to see that even though you might be studying for 2 hours or 4 hours straight in your zone, you're not doing that consistently. You're not doing that every single day. If you are, then hey, like, this video is not for you, and this tip is it's not for you either. But if you're the one like me that you get harder for you to work, you can space out really fast, doing it little by little, that's how you're gonna be training your brain. And if 25 minutes is way too much time for you, you want to do 15 or 20, then go for it. The whole point is that you're doing little by little, and that you're adapting your brain into that. And number 4 is focus more, write less. So with focus more, write less, I mean that you need to write less stuff during your lectures, because the more you write, the more you really don't really understand the teacher. You're just writing, you're kind of like scripting everything that they're saying, but then you're gonna go home and be like, what is this? So really, really, really try to get the app Notability. The app Notability also has like a recording feature. They can kind of like record whatever sound is surrounding your iPad, and that way you're writing less. So this way you have it recorded, and if you really care about the recording and what they're saying, you can just record it, focus really on the lecture, and only write the stuff that you really don't understand what they're saying. And then once you're playing the lecture and seeing your notes, you're gonna start seeing like, oh, okay, like you're gonna start seeing that you're gonna be getting more because you're writing less. You're paying more attention to the teacher, putting your pencil down, because you have something recording the lecture that you can go over then later when you're like doing chores, washing dishes, folding your clothes, cleaning your room. You can have it as your podcast, I guess, a lecture. But that way you really grasp anything they're saying, and you're just writing down like key things about it. And also writing more, focusing more and studying less. Focusing more and writing less can also be like watching YouTube videos. So instead of like focusing more on like reading everything you have to learn, just watch a video about it. For me, it's easier for me to watch a video than reading, because sometimes the reading of a chapter is like 15 pages, and a video it's like 10 or 15 minutes, and it explains you everything, and you can write notes there, and you can pause the video and go from there. So that's how I did it as well. I'm more of a person that I need to apply what I'm learning as I'm learning it, in order for it to make sense, and then someone else explaining it in a video or something. I'm not like a textbook person that's gonna read chapter 1 all the way to chapter 18, because I really need to connect the dots into everything. And yeah, that's pretty much what I did, and it got me really, really far in my grades and everything. It's reflecting upon it, and also in the sense that not just the grade portion, but also the understanding. And the more that you repeat something, the more it's going to stick into your head, and the less you apply something, the easier it is for you to forget it. So it's all about practicing, it's all about understanding, because you really need to make whatever you're learning meaningful. You need to find a value or meaning to whatever you're learning. It's like, for instance, if you are reading about diabetic ketoacidosis, let's just say you're in that part of your chapter and you really don't understand it, you will be surprised at how many short videos or Instagram videos you will find about people just describing and explaining diabetic ketoacidosis. Like, you'd be so surprised. And there's like even YouTube videos that are longer, like 5 minutes, that explain you more the pathophysiology. But if you just want like an overview about it and then go from there, and they're all free, so you'll be surprised. But you really have to look into those videos, and eventually you're gonna see like social media has a lot of distracting content or entertaining content, but then you'll also be surprised how much educational content it has for free, and they're super short. And I'm actually thinking about doing like short videos of like 1 or 2 minutes, just explaining like simple things or complex things into simple things, because our attention span is kind of like that as well as we're watching videos like a minute or 2 minutes. So yeah, it's a lot of content out there and it's for free, so definitely take advantage of it. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So if you guys like this video, put a thumbs up, and if you want to message me, my Instagram is right here for any tips or any recommendations of a video you want to see, by all means. And yeah, thank you so much guys for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.